very experienced and you know a lot about racing. And you should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Can Perez squeeze past? They're going wheel to wheel towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track, cuts the chicane. Off goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff coming out of the final corner. Perez and Leclerc going for it. Hamilton says thank you very much. Another thing opens up for him.
So box. Keep it safe now. No, stay out. In. Hey, man. No, sorry, mate. Okay, just go. I was at the entry, man. We're in trouble.
And it's Nico Rosberg and Hamilton's onto the grass. And Hamilton's had a massive crash. And he's crashed into his teammate. The two Mercedes come together.
Calma. 5 seconds inside yoke. GP2 engine. GP2.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
This is Solo P1. This is to my Spotify and iTunes. Hit that like button, guys, and get that video out in the algorithm on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. Thank you very much, guys. This is the debrief episode 6 on YouTube and on iTunes and Spotify. Now, this is MONACO GP debrief. This is where me and TOTO Hammer. TOTO Hammer. Are you there? There you go. This is the second time we tried to record this because the first time it just botched. But we're doing it again. Anyway, this is where we talk about the Grand Prix in more detail. We tend to be engineers, which we're not. We tend to be technical directors, which we're not. We ain't got a clue what we're talking about, but we're still going to do it because this is what we do on YouTube. We try and we try and be the people in the pit wall, and we're trying to do basically the technical team. So Ferrari, for instance, we all know Ferrari are useless. So we try and make it better for Ferrari and try and look at another analysis the way we would do it. So we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Ferrari, and we're also going to talk about Aston Martin. This is usually a 15 to 20 minute video. So we're going to start off with Aston Martin now. So actually we'll start off with Ferrari. Now, Toto Hammer. If you was Sainz and Ferrari, what do you think went wrong? What do you think went wrong for starters? What do you think went wrong?
Personally, I think they pitted too early because the hard tyres definitely should have been about 55. And if you want to push a tyre life to about 60 laps.
Yeah.
And you know what? At the end of the day, they pitted too early. And when he pitted too early, I just don't understand why did he pit that early? Because the hard tyres had so much more life in them.
Yeah.
And the tyre strategy that he was on, hard and medium. So basically what that is, it's a one-stopper basically. It's a one-stopper. But he had to do one extra stop for the rain. And look, say if the rain weren't even a prospect in this race. So get rid of the rain. Say it was just hard and medium, just dry tyres.
Yeah.
Pitting that early is just an outrage. Pitting that early. Because hard, medium, one stop, hard tyres, 55. If you want to push, you've got good tyres left, 60 laps. Yeah? And then the medium tyres. Even if the rain wasn't even a prospect in the race, he would have came unstuck. Because what was he thinking? Pitting that early. You know what Science is like. And to me, Science is one of my favourite drivers in the grid because he's like a leader. And when Ferrari, it's not like Science listening to the team all the time. Science always just adjusts strategy a little bit. And you know what I'm saying about Science.
Yeah, what I'm gonna put in.
Like.
What I say is basically Science had so much laps left in them tyres. He had at least 15 laps left in them tyres. I don't know what Ferrari was thinking. Pitting Science similar time to the medium tyres, which that's the whole point of the medium tyres. Now, he had the hard tyres on, and the ones in front of him had the medium tyres on, most of them anyway. So I'm not sure what Ferrari was thinking, because the whole point of putting on the hard tyres is, and that enables you to go longer in the stint. So I'm confused why they done it. But again, you got to look at Science's point of view, Science's side. If he believes that he was getting screwed on the strategy and he felt like he could have went on more, he should have said to the team, no, I'm not coming in. I'm going to start a little bit longer. I'm driving the car. I know how my tyres feel. You can have all the data analysis all you want, but the guy who's driving the car can feel it, and he knows how much grip he's got left in his tyres. So I was confused at that, but again, not surprised because it's Ferrari. We know what Ferrari's like. We know they panic. They know when it gets to certain situations of getting a podium, they panic. Charles Leclerc knows this as well. I think personally, Charles Leclerc kind of gave up on Ferrari. He's basically waiting for his Mercedes spot to come up, maybe in a couple of years when Lewis Hamilton retires. Not yet, though. But he's just sitting there thinking, look, I've got a job. I'm in Ferrari. I'm in the third best team on the grid. I'm just going to chill out. I'm a young man. I'll wait for Lewis to leave, and then I'll jump in the car, because what Sainz is going to find out, he's going to find out what Charles Leclerc found out. He's going to find out, he's going to wake up one day and he's going to realise that Ferrari strategy team are useless and they should be working at a local garage, pumping tyres and pumping gas. I've said this since 2017. I never wavered. I've never stuttered. Look, last season I had a chance to win that Grand Prix, win maybe a world title. But again, they blew the strategy because they ain't got a clue what they're doing. It seems like when it comes to those precious moments in a Grand Prix, when the pressure's on, when you need to nail that lap, nail that strategy, you can't rely on Ferrari. And people are coming on Twitter making me laugh, saying that Lewis is going to join Ferrari. It's never going to happen. That's in their dreams, not in my dreams, and not in reality. Reality, he's not going anywhere. And as for Sainz, I feel sorry for him. I think Sainz he's got potential to be a team leader, but you got to ask yourself, why would he want to lead Ferrari? You know. But again, if Sainz knew about the tyres, he shouldn't have came in. And that's what I think about it. What do you think, Toto?
Yeah, man.
How much? How long can the tyres go on? Sorry for interrupting. How long can the hard tyres do again for the stint?
55 laps maximum.
Yeah. And what was the medium?
I don't know about the medium because Sainz started on the hards.
Yeah, but,
and then when he pitted,
but I'm going about the guys in front of him. Some of them were on the medium. So the stint on the medium was about 45 laps. I'm sure it was between 40 and 45 laps.
Yeah, roughly about that.
And the hards can go on obviously another 15 laps longer. So again, it made no sense. Sainz pitting similar time to the medium tyre guys. And that's why when they come out and said to Sainz, we've got a cover of Hamilton, he said, I don't care about Hamilton. He said it more. He said it in a different language, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it on the YouTube.
So, yeah, and you know what? When he pitted, he lost track position to Gasly, Leclerc, and Russell. So think about where he was originally. Yeah, and then he lost 3 places. He was in top 5, top 4 around that.
He could have got a podium.
And then exactly, he could have got a podium. He was acting at the hards as the mediums.
Actually.
Of course, mediums.
Actually.
Because,
Actually, a realistic podium. Russell. Actually realistic. Sainz could have got one. Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was the front. Go on, Cameron.
The target for Sainz weren't to cover up Hamilton. He lost so much track position, and then plus the rain. As soon as he pitted, couple laps later, the rain just hit, and it could have benefited him for the wet long. So I mean, the long strategy is so beneficial for Monaco.
Yeah.
Start off on the hard, soft the compound at the end because it's a small track, so you can go long. That's why it's 75 laps. He was only supposed to do one stop, and he went one extra stop, which, of course, you lose about 15 seconds in the pit lane.
Yeah.
15 plus 15, 30. So, of course, lost about 30 seconds in that race.
Who you talking about
which
now?
is valuable.
Talking about science still?
About science. Still about science.
Yeah.
Because he pitted one extra stop.
Yeah, no.
So he lost overall about 30 seconds in the pit lane, which is valuable second that shouldn't be lost because he really should have been a one stop. Hard to inters because that's when the rain hits.
Yeah,
You know
my
what?
strategy. I didn't like Lewis's strategy. I'm not going to really talk about Lewis today because we're going to talk about the Aston Martin and Ferrari, but I didn't like Lewis's strategy. I thought Lewis should have started on the hard, my opinion, not the medium. Russell was on a better strategy. Yeah. We know how that ended up. Can't wait, too aggressive. Can't hear, must feel.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to move on now. We've been talking about that 10 minutes now. We're going to move on to Alonso. I'm going to let you start this one. This is the last one we're going to be talking about today, Alonso's strategy. Now, before you get into it, I'm just going to talk about it just briefly. Now, they can spin it as much as they want, okay? Aston Martin can spin it as much as they want, but Alonso blew it. Alonso could have won this race at Monaco, in my opinion. I don't care how much they spin it, how much the PR spin it, how much the team director spins it, how much the engineers spin it, even how much Alonso spins it. He knows deep down he could have won this race because all he had to do was, you can continue. Go. I'll just say, all he had to do is just go on the inters. That's all he had to do. Go on.
Yeah, he pitted too early, man. You know what I mean? Because he pitted for the mediums.
The rain was there. The rain.
Yeah, the rain hit. Yeah, but corners 1, 2, 5, and 6, 5 and 6, and the turn 3 mark is when it started to get worse. That's when it starts to pour down, and that's when you see the likes of Logan Sargent, Magnussen slipping off. You know why Magnussen slipped off, but you got the likes of Logan Sargent, etc. I know, man. Logan Sargent slipping over there, and listen. He pitted a couple laps before the rain got even worse. That's when Max started to pit for the inters. And listen, if Alonso would have pitted earlier than Max, he would have catched him up because Max stayed out longer as well. Max made a mistake, staying out longer, and then Alonso could have pitted earlier than Max to go ahead of him. We could have catched him up as well.
Alonso came into the pits first, didn't he? Before Max Verstappen. When Alonso came into the pits, Max was still on his hard tyres, wasn't he? So I think he just passed the pit lane. I think so anyway. So basically, all Alonso had to do is come into the pits and put his inters on, and that would have been for the rest of the race. And you never know, he probably would have made up more time because he was on the inters and Max was struggling on the hard tyres. So obviously, you know what I mean? Obviously, Alonso probably would have had a chance to pass him. He could have won the race. He blew it. Instead of pitting once, he pit twice because he goes, "Oh, I'm going to be clever. I'm going to come in. I'm going to use the medium. I'm going to put the medium tyres on. I'm going to be clever and think, the rain ain't going to stop." But it didn't stop. It continued. So what he done? He had to come in again, then put the inters on. So he pitted twice. You lose how long in his pit lane? 15 to 18 seconds in a pit. So we blew it. And then maybe he would have made up time on the inters, catching up Max because Max didn't pick yet. He picked before Max. So you put all that time together, he could have come out in front. There was a chance. He could have been leading the race. He blew it. You never know that Max could have came into the pits, saw that Alonso... Max could have came into the pits. He would have saw Alonso. See, Red Bull could have panicked. They could have saw Alonso, put the inters on. Alonso could have made up a bit more time because I'm sure Max pitted about two laps after Alonso. So Alonso, I think so anyway. So Alonso, I know Alonso pitted first. So Alonso could have been on the inters, made a bit of a time on Max. They could have panicked, said, "Max, come in now." And they could have came into the pits because it's wet. Anything could have got stuck, a nut or anything. They could have panicked doing the pits. And then he could have come out and Alonso could have passed him. That's what could have happened. But they didn't gamble. They put the hard tyres on, which I'm hearing now it was Alonso's call, which I'm very shocked about. I'm shocked that Alonso made that call. I'm not saying they're lying, but I'm shocked that Alonso made that call to put the medium tyres on. That was his race gone right there. And you know what? Unless the Red Bulls get a DNF this year, a double DNF, he ain't going to win a race. That was his chance gone. Gone. Blew it.
Yeah.
Blew it.
And look, Alonso, when he was actually running behind Max, it weren't like a big gap, like 25, 30 seconds.
No.
It was only 8 seconds.
This is what I'm saying.
Like, you could have won the race by miles, man, because if you would have pitted like
early,
Verstappen made a mistake.
Exactly.
But Alonso
where Alonso got done, he pitted twice.
Yeah, I know. And he pitted 2 laps earlier than Max, I think, 2 or 3 laps earlier. And then he pitted again, put it into the look. Max made a mistake. Alonso, if he would have got the strategy perfect, he would have been leading the race by miles. But soon as Max pitted for those inters, and then Alonso, miles behind, pitted for the inters, and then it was a 25, 30, 35 second gap.
So.
And you know what? Like I said, Alonso lose about 30 seconds in the pit lane this race, 15 plus 15, 30, 30 seconds last. So, and yeah, man, it's just...
So, that's the end of that one. We're going to talk about briefly. We've got 4 minutes left. We're going to talk about the Russell incident at Mercedes. Listen, Russell, you was never going to get third place. You was never going to get third place. When you come into the pit, you come out, you made the mistakes. When you got hit by Perez, which should have been a penalty for Mercedes, when you got hit by Perez, deliberately, in my opinion, Lewis was still in front of you, bro. You wouldn't have got third place. It's Monaco. And then you wanted Lewis to move over because you made a mistake. Come on, bro. Just relax, okay? Just come on. I'll give you the floor, man. I'll give you the floor.
It wouldn't have made a difference because even if he didn't even want to go ahead Hamilton, it wouldn't have made a difference because Leclerc was 8 seconds behind him anyway. And he would have held a position. Leclerc was 8 seconds behind him.
I know.
Not even gaining any time on Russell, just staying at 8 seconds. It wouldn't have made any difference. And you expect him to Hamilton to move over and try and catch Ocon. You're not going to pass Ocon. Hamilton was getting close, 9 tenths, 8 tenths. He was going quicker than Ocon.
And he wanted to invert the cars. Why would he want to invert the cars? He said, look, he got himself a 5-second time penalty because he was all over the place. And then he turned around and said, look, let me go in front of Hamilton so I can clear Charles Leclerc because he's behind me. I need to clear 5 seconds. And then I promise I won't move out in front too much. What was he thinking? It's Monaco. It's Monaco. It's Monaco. It is Monaco. There's no overtaking, and you want to do it in the wet. So what you want Hamilton to do is move over. And why? Why would he do that? Did you do that in Hungary? No.
No. And you know what?
You never played T games then, did you? Go on.
Yeah. And you know, Russell got the penalty for an unsafe re-jump from the escape road turn 4.
That's what I'm saying.
It's when Perez.
That's why he wanted to clear. And he wanted to clear Charles Leclerc. He wanted it to clear. He said, "Let me go in front of Hamilton." He's a funny guy, isn't he? He's a funny guy. Anyway, you got anything less?
He wouldn't have made.
I know. So he was still in front anyway. So that is the end of the debrief. You got anything left to say, Toto?
Nah, really nothing else to say. I've usually said all my piece on Russell. I'm just going to say to Russell, listen, you're second driver. You're not first driver. Just stay in your lane, man. And you know what? Leclerc was winning on bad pace, and Russell was back.
And if you no longer go for a gap,
no difference whatsoever. Leclerc was 8 seconds behind him. He had 5 seconds. He would have. So
that's it, man.
I think just try to point, but he wouldn't have catched that car. He wouldn't have passed that car.
That's it, man. So that's the end of the debrief. It's late and I'm off now. Thanks, Toto, for your expert analysis. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a football player ratings tomorrow, and that'll be tomorrow. And this week sometimes we're going to be doing an end of year for the football season, where we rank Liverpool and where we rank the players overall of the season. So we're going to be doing that. That will be coming on Thursday or Friday, but tomorrow is going to be the player ratings of the Southampton game where we drawed 4-4. I know it's late, but you know what? We had a lot of things on. We had a lot of videos to do, a lot of stuff to edit, and that's the way it is as a content creator. It's not like Liverpool playing again till another 2.5 months, so we took our time. We work hard.
Yeah.
So, this is Solo P1 signing out, and this is Toto Hammer signing out. Click the QR code. The top 2 QR codes that will open up a portal to see all our socials. And if you want to donate a coffee, you want to buy me a coffee, hit the yellow QR code and that will go towards the channel. Buy me a coffee. You don't have to do it, but you're not obligated to do it, but it will be appreciated if you did. So this is Solo P1 signing out. Thank you very much, guys. Bye, Toto.